So welcome back to this two-part programme looking at habits. I'm Tracy Bevan from Positive Being. So last time we looked at motivation and how habits can trip us up, but also how we can use them to make lasting changes that we want in our lives. Now in this second video I'm going to be looking at hope and also giving you some tips that can really help you bed in those healthy new habits. So if you remember, we discussed the habit loop and how we need to unpick the component parts of a cue, a routine and the reward. I'd be really interested in where you've got to with the detective work that you've done, finding those connections for yourself between places, people and activities. These are the prompts that set this loop in motion for you. My contact details can be found at the end of this video, so please do send in your examples. So why is hope so important when it comes to habits? Well, we need hope to believe in ourselves and our own power to change things. It's that self-belief that we can do something differently. I'm not talking here about hope as wishful thinking or groundless optimism. I'm talking about what's called active hope. This is hope as a state of being, and it's a powerful catalyst for change. When we think of hope as something inherent in us, like a personality trait, that leads to the conclusion that it's something we either do or don't have. We think of some people as being optimistic and hopeful in their outlook, and others maybe less so. But what if hope was something more flexible than that? This is more obvious perhaps in the negative sense. Life and the knocks we take can take its toll on our hopefulness, but turn that on its head, and if hope is something that can diminish, then it can also be grown. Think of it as a muscle that can be worked on rather than a fixed or limited resource. With this way of thinking about hope as a state that we can move towards and develop, this offers the opportunity to build ourselves a more hopeful mindset. This hopeful belief in ourselves is an internal driver that we can tap into to support us with reaching our goals. Psychologist Snyder defined hope as a positive motivational state, which has two components: agency thinking and pathway thinking. We use agency or willpower for setting and maintaining our goals. This is a motivational aspect of hope, which takes us towards our desired future self. Pathways or way power is what we use to formulate the plans and the backup plans that can get us there. Another way to think of these two parts are belief and planning. And if we need both to put our intentions into action and to bridge that intention behaviour gap that we spoke about last time. We need to believe that we can achieve our goals and that change is possible for us, that new habits are within our reach. You can develop this side of the hope muscle by looking back at the times that you've reached your goals and had successes in the past. Think about how you did it. What personal strengths and qualities did you use then? A practice like this of keeping an inventory of our skills increases self-efficacy, which is that sense of mastery over our environment, the I can attitude. It gives us the confidence in our ability to fulfill future goals because it balances out the brain's tendency to focus on the negatives and on our failures. And of course, if we've failed at this particular goal before, then it can feel extra hard. If that's the case, then start by borrowing your belief from others. By this I mean share your goals with a friend or a support group or a coach. This is important to feel the faith other people have in you. And the way to develop the second muscle in the hope group is by making plans. And make your plan as detailed as you need it to be. Set out your intention in the form of a new habit loop, stating what behaviour you're going to be carrying out, what your cues will be, and be clear about what you will use to prompt those actions. This could be reminders or alarms on your phone, diary notes, friends, or certain situations that will start to become the unconscious cues for your new behaviour. Remember to list any problems that you think might come up, maybe hiccups where you've fallen down before. Do you know what, where and when your weak spots happen? What will you use to distract yourself when temptation gets hardest? Will you call a friend? Who or what will be the best help for you to remember that you believe in yourself? Use way power to anticipate any obstacles and to think of the ways you can get around them. If you're prepared like this, it'll be much easier to deal with them when you hit those bumps in the road. And anticipating problems will make them more visible to your conscious mind, so you're less susceptible to falling back on old habits. And don't be surprised if you start to see change spreading out into other areas of your life. The benefits of little successes have a way of spiralling outwards as your confidence in your ability to achieve your goals starts to take hold. Remember, I'm not saying it's easy, but it is possible, and I've put together a few tips that can help. Firstly, be really clear on your intention. Make a conscious decision that you are going to behave in a new way. This new choice needs to be yours, and you need to believe it's the right thing for you. So write it down, think of all the arguments for and against until you're sure which path you want to follow. Be honest with yourself about this, because this clarity is what helps us through the difficult choice moments. High motivation can work in short bursts when our willpower is low, if we are very sure of our goals. Next, start by being more aware of your current choices. A journal is really helpful with spotting patterns of behaviour. Watch for the cues that trigger your habits. Remember, you're looking to make the unconscious conscious again. Choose enjoyable goals that have meaning for you. The best rewards to support forming new habits are the ones that you enjoy, or where you have an internal drive to do the new behaviour. So look for the things that make you feel good or make you happy, because logical arguments alone are much less likely to fire your motivation. You need to tap into what specifically drives you, and this is why changes that other people suggest to you can so often fail. And wherever you can, make it fun. When building that hope muscle, start with approach goals. Starting a new habit is much easier than stopping or replacing an old one. So choose positive goals where you're moving towards an outcome rather than trying to avoid negative ones. So, for example, look for ways to add a healthier food into your diet rather than trying to avoid the unhealthy ones. Avoidance goals are harder because they've got no clear end point, so they don't build your self-belief as quickly. The best goals are concrete, with sub-goals and an end point so that we can mark our successes. And as you have more and more successful experiences, you increase your expectation of being successful again in the future. And you need to plan. Make a specific plan for your new behaviour so you really know what your goal is. Visualise yourself in your new habit, make it detailed and rich. These images and words from your plan are what you can draw on to keep you motivated if things get tough. Use situational cues. These are places, objects or activities like after breakfast or when I arrive at work. These are more helpful in triggering your new habit, better than say using a set time. Something like I'll eat a piece of fruit at 9 o'clock won't act as a cue in the same way. And avoid the old situational cues if you need to and if you're able to. Avoiding the places you associate with a habit can be a big help at the start of a change, so try varying your routine to avoid triggers. Try small, manageable changes. These will build your belief in your ability to succeed. Starting one small, new, healthy habit will build your confidence to take on bigger changes. So try breaking down larger goals into smaller targets. Programs like Couch to 5K do this really well because these steps allow for small, weekly gains to build your confidence and maintain motivation. As you start to gather the evidence that you've got this, then try challenging yourself with stretch goals that push you a little further. Consistency does help, especially as you start. Missing the odd day doesn't seem to matter, so don't be hard on yourself if you skip a day. And choose your support community carefully. These are the people and groups who will encourage you, inspire you, and believe in you. So pick people who can act as examples of change and that you feel connected to. We're social animals and we behave differently when in a social environment. So your support community are witnesses who can encourage you to aim for your better self. And always remember to celebrate your successes. Acknowledge them because each win builds on your hope and self-belief. So, to sum up, habits can be changed. You need to be clear on what you want to change and why, and then believe that you can follow through on your decision. And the most important decision you will make is to decide to believe in yourself. If you're not sure you're there yet, then find somebody who does believe in you to help you build that superpower of hope. Choose goals that are meaningful to you, ones that increase your sense of being in balance and that are building a better you, goals that align with your values. And remember, change can be uncomfortable, but don't give up. As your new routines become automatic for you, they become your new habits and ones that say so much about who you truly are. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope you found something to inspire you. If you want to get in touch and find out more, please do contact me at Positive Being.